You know what's crazy? In a world filled with Jedi, Sith, and galaxy-ending threats, somehow the most lovable duo in Star Wars is a guy who barely shows his face, and a tiny green kid that doesn't even speak. And after years of adventures on Disney+, Din Djarin and Grogu finally hit the big screen. But does The Mandalorian and Grogu actually deliver? Or is it just another nostalgia trip? Let's talk about it. One thing I was worried about before watching this movie was whether it would just feel like a longer episode of the show. Thankfully, it doesn't. Right from the opening scene, you can tell this was made for theaters. Everything feels bigger. The action is larger. The planets look beautiful. And honestly, seeing Din Djarin and Grogu on the big screen just feels right. The movie immediately throws us into a new mission, and before you know it, we're back on another adventure with everyone's favorite father and son duo. Let's be honest, Pedro Pascal is the Mandalorian. Even though you rarely see his face, somehow he brings so much emotion to this character. Din Djarin isn't trying to save the entire galaxy. He's not the chosen one. He's just a guy trying to protect his kid. And that's exactly why people love him. Because underneath the armor, he's just a dad. And once again, Pedro Pascal absolutely nails it. I don't care how old you are, Grogu is impossible not to love. Whether he's causing trouble, helping Din, or just looking confused, he steals every scene he's in. But what I loved most is that Grogu is actually growing as a character. He's becoming smarter, more confident, and you can tell that his connection with Din Djarin has become stronger than ever. Their relationship remains the emotional heart of the movie, and honestly, that's what makes this franchise special. Not really. Some parts of the story feel predictable. A few side characters could have used more screen time. And if you've never watched the Mandalorian series, you might feel a little lost, because this movie expects you to already know these characters. But honestly, that's a small complaint, because the movie knows exactly what it wants to be, and it never tries to be anything else. At the end of the day, The Mandalorian and Grogu isn't trying to change Star Wars forever. It's simply giving fans another adventure with two characters they've grown to love over the years. And sometimes, that's enough. Because watching Din Djarin and Grogu together again reminds you why Star Wars became magical in the first place. Not because of giant battles, not because of lightsabers, but because of characters you genuinely care about. And honestly, I had a smile on my face for most of the movie. Star Wars fans are going to love the action scenes. There are space battles, blaster fights, chases, explosions, and some really cool moments that remind you why The Mandalorian became such a huge hit in the first place. The movie doesn't try to reinvent Star Wars. Instead, it focuses on what fans already love: simple storytelling, great characters, and exciting adventures. That's probably my favorite thing about this movie. It feels fun, it feels adventurous, and most importantly, it feels like Star Wars. Not every story needs galaxy-ending stakes. Sometimes all you need is a bounty hunter, his adopted son, and one dangerous mission. And that's exactly what this movie understands. Story, 8 out of 10. Action, 9 out of 10. Visuals, 10 out of 10. Characters, 10 out of 10. Emotional moments, 9 out of 10. Overall, 9 out of 10. But that's just my opinion. What about you guys? Did The Mandalorian and Grogu live up to the hype, or were you expecting something more? Let me know down in the comments, and if you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like, subscribe, and may the Force be with you.